Today we start with the Whites of Bamako, Stade Malien, and the Masters of the city, Ittihad of Egypt. So Boubacar Kanouté has decided to keep the same starting five, Q.
Keeping the same starting five, and in the center, Captain Koulibaly, I think he's going to try and lead the way on the floor.
It's looking good in their opener. Omar Solomon's shuffled things around, Q.
3 changes. Vinyales and Abu Shosha keep their starting spots, but in comes Mohamed and Ding getting the...
Stade Malien come up against Ittihad, and it is the Egyptians who gain possession with Kyle Vinyales. Deng, Vinyales, orchestrating very well for this team from Alexandria. First time in the BAL, a nice little move into the paint. It's a first shot, but it doesn't drop. Down in the corner there from the big man Khalaf, Koulibaly. And a mid-range two.
A couple of mid-range shots that don't go down. We saw Khalaf with the high competency from mid-range for Ittihad in that win against Rabat.
Deng kicks it back out, but gets it back. And he tries to find a little bit of space, and that's a fine score. Deng getting the first points. Deng of South Sudan, of course, offering Ittihad the 2-0 lead.
South Sudanese international gets his first 2, and that'll give him some comfort.
First start for him for Ittihad, having come off the bench in game 1. Mohamed Doumbia, a loss of possession here as they race up the court, and Abdul Rahman looking for an option there. He didn't really know what he was going to do with that Abu Shusha. And look how quick they are in transition, and a second chance. Oh, just couldn't manage to sink those points there, Katia Diarra.
Goes with his offhand, and the touch eludes him, and then can't get the finish on the follow. Diarra feel a bit frustrated.
Yeah, little touch there just to get the ball out of play from Koulibaly. Defensive game, but they will regain possession.
Well, we've talked a lot about Omar Soliman having so many options on the bench, and now with Anas Mahmoud out with a left sprained ankle, the duty in that paint will be down to Al-Kaf and Deng.
Vinyales goes for a 3. It doesn't drop. And again, a little bit of a nervous start to this encounter. There's Diarra. Sometimes expect a little bit more from him, and that's what he can do. That's a fantastic score there from Diarra.
They're going to look to him for some playmaking and leadership, and playmaking from the scoring and just finding open teammates in the offensive side of the game.
That's good hustling there from Koulibaly, but it's good work from Abu Shusha, who keeps it safe. Deng picks it up on the outside, shot clock down to 5, needs to go high over the top. How about that for a wonderful shot from distance?
Mahmoud likes that shot from Deng, and the confidence is flowing from this dynamic scorer.
Some early points just to deal with the nerves. Doumbia for 3. Off the rim and out of bounds.
I'm surprised he took that option. He had Vinyales in front of him and opted to go for the long-range attempt. Would have liked to see him just be a tad bit more aggressive.
Well, he's the only scorer so far. This was Diarra's lovely shot there. Good soft, silky touch, of course, and then the Deng 2-pointer as well. Abu Shusha back out to Vinyales. There he goes, straight through the middle. And the attempt at getting the pass to Deng, foiled by Stade Malien.
Well, this will be a chemistry test for Ittihad in terms of their depth. And we're seeing just a little bit of chemistry issues, and they can't quite find the passes and the touches just yet.
See, that is sensational. When Katia Diarra wants to really go for it, he can. Holds back a second, lets the defender go away, and then he's got time to score.
Love the aggression so far from Katia Diarra.
Deng back into the path of Abdel Rahman. He finds little space, blind pass, lovely job there. And Ahmed Khalaf, right place, right time to take the pass to score.
And that is chemistry as Khalaf gets his first 2.
Doumbia, Koulibaly gets tangled up, still gets possession somehow. I think he's quite surprised himself there. Doumbia drops it into the middle, goes back out, and the shot clock down to 0. Missed opportunity there.
and that possession may be guilty of overpassing. There were a couple of opportunities. Koulibaly couldn't hold on to the ball. The defense comes across. Abu Shosha, I think, will pick up the block there. Some good work from Khalaf as well to deter the shot on the inside.
Ittihad 6-4, and that's a great charge. Look at that. How aggressive is that from Vinales? We know what he can do. He just turns it on, switches into overdrive.
They talk about making the right read, and he does that time and time again. It just finds the space and the seam in the defense to pick up those 2 points.
Mohamed Doumbia, the Senegalese player Koulibaly, gets it out to Sané. Sané goes up. It's just gone over the top behind the backboard, and it will be Ittihad who pick up possession.
So Sané try a couple of those long-range attempts, more than a couple in the opening game, and he looks to try and space the floor by making those shots from the outside.
Could be a very important player for Stade Malien, just finding his feet. Abu Shusha goes up for a long-range 3. Doesn't fall. 4-point lead for Ittihad. Stade Malien need to secure points on their faces of play. Diarra goes up. He's again leading by example. And the second chance points coming from that man, Sané.
That is where you want to see landing Sané, inside the paint, using his size and picking up second chance opportunities.
Deng Deng trying to deal with Sané. Little step back, little short. And picked up by Dade. They go again. First 5 minutes. And just 2 points separating these two teams. Doumbia trying to deal with Vinales. That is absolutely sensational. Lovely spin, excellent score, and a very soft touch.
Leans into his offensive bag. The former ASVD captain and MVP of the Senegalese league, giving you insight into how deep his bag is.
Vinales, Karaf gets swarmed by the Stade Malien players, and Diarra sinks the dunk there. Fantastically done. Look, they take a 2-point lead.
Well, didn't know Cartier could still get up that high, and that's a great finish from Diarra.
Deng goes up for a response, but the response is not good with the points, but attracts a bit of attention.
Diarra takes off 2 and flashes it with both hands. Take off.
Timeout called, 4:07, and we're going to take a break. 10 points for Stade Malien, 8 points for Ittihad of Alexandria. Welcome back to Rabat. Stade Malien 10, Ittihad 8, and Coach Omar Solomon of Ittihad calling going into a timeout, and we'll see what Asher. Do you pick up anything?
Yes, Coach Omar Solomon wants Ittihad to find spaces in that paint, but he's also concerned that on defense they are making things very easy for Stade Malien. He wants them to tighten up, communicate, and talk to each other so that they can see how to stop this Stade Malien team.
As Deng tries to score from the free throw line, of course, following that foul and restore parity. It's not going to happen on this play.
The 2 guys leading for their respective teams right now. Deng with his 4 points is still early going, and Cartier Diarra showing that he's going to lead from the front end, and he picks up 6 points to lead all scorers on the floor.
He got 10 points in their opening loss against Rivers Hoopers. Probably realized that it was time to step up, and you've got to get the lay of the land in your opening game, I think, Hugh.
And just feeling the flow. I think after the first game, there might have been some jitters, and looking a little bit more comfortable here in game 2, Cartier Diarra. I think we might see a little bit more point production from him.
Hugh, you're looking a lot more comfortable as well, I think. Don't you agree, Asha?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the man.
Sané! Well, landing Sané, unable to get it through and slam it down, but look, he gets the second bite of the apple, and that is perseverance from Stade Malien.
Koulibaly giving Sané a second chance, and beautiful pass, and finish with the offhand from Sané.
Oh, look at that. That is just sensational skills. The way that man managed to go underneath the ring. Abdel Rahman, the under and over.
Superb 28-year-old picking up his first 2 points.
Koulibaly Down in the corner, landing Sane, swings it out to Diarra, drives straight in, little step back, and he sinks two as well. And he's edging towards the first player to enter double figures with a very solid first quarter.
He's going to force a different coverage around him. He's forcing the Ittihad defense to make some different decisions right now with these 8 points.
When he gets his range, he gets it big time. There's another chance to try and drop it over the top there from Abu Shusha. Doesn't fall. Picked up by Koulibaly as they race forward. Quick accelerating. He's got bursts of acceleration. He's a very deceiving and difficult player. Oh my word, Sane dropping in a big three.
A couple of makes on the inside, and that translates to confidence on the exterior. He makes the three-pointer, landing Sane.
6-point advantage here for Stade Malien, and they got to hit back. Abu Shusha hitting a three, responding in the perfect manner.
They want to keep it in and around the possession. That's a big shot from Abu Shusha.
Katia Diarra goes again. There is a foul, and it's Ibrahim Abdelrahman who picks up his first foul today.
Finds some nice space in the corner. They look at the pass from Vinales, creates the space, and Abu Shusha lines it up and knocks it down.
And there's landing Sane with lots of time to deliver from the edge of the D. It all comes from the great work from Koulibaly, swinging it back out and just getting that man, and that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, some great paint penetration and, again, patience. They're playing with a little bit more poise and patience in today's game. All right, Stade Malien.
The artists love the paint, and the paint love the artists. Here we go with Diarra going up. There's a chance just coming off the rim. Another chance to just drop it over to Corey coming off the bench as we enter the last 2 minutes here of the first quarter. George King's on as well, and there's Majok Day. Oh, come on, off the bench, in it goes, 3 points, and we're back level at 17 all.
Well, this might be the preferred lineup for Coach Suleiman, as he has King and Deng back on the floor for their first minutes of action in the second game.
Sane just inside the D. That is sensational long-range shooting. How about that?
He's definitely starting to heat up a little bit and get into his flow state.
Vinales teasing. George King for three. Close, but not close enough. But look at that man, Khalaf. He's there for the rebound. Offensive stuff there coming from the big man.
With that 125-kilogram flame, is fleet-footed inside, and he picks up the rebound for the 2 points.
Sane teasing. Khalaf goes up, and the foul has been committed. And it will be Khalaf. Just shifted his hips a little bit, moved the body marginally enough. There you go, just leaning in like that. That's all you need.
And that's how you lean into experience. Landing Sane, forcing Khalaf to come out, respect the shot. He's made 2 threes, he made a second long range too, but you see the ability to make the shot, and Khalaf comes out and he'll pick up the foul.
Lots of experience, of course, playing in the LNB, a veteran. Paris Levallois playing in the Euro Cup on more than 50 occasions, and bringing that experience to the BAL, which is fabulous to see. That's Diarra going up. He tries to get a big three. There's a little tip in as the buzzer goes, of course, so it's 2 points on the pile.
They have been really active on the offensive glass and have been able to just keep Ittihad at bay and also hold on to their lead right now, Stade Malien.
And look, they're getting a lot of positives as well, because you look at Ali Ahmed, he's just picked up, he's just lost possession, of course, and it's 21-19, and just, 28 seconds left to play here. Tunkia unable to really find his way through. Sorry, Tunkara. And George King down into the corner. Long-range shot coming in. Goes over on the other side. Wow. George King just getting away. There's a travel call.
Yeah, that looked like just the extra step. Tunkara on the break.
You can see that there's a little bit of frustration there from Boubacar Kanouté, of course. it was an opportunity that just to sort of, you know, take your time, get the points rather than rush it.
Extend the lead out to just 2 possessions, which would give them a little bit of breathing room.
Medwali getting the ball out to Ali Ahmed, who can't get the points. And no points for Stade Malien to finish off. 21 points for Stade Malien, 19 for Ittihad at the end of the first quarter. Game on, very intriguing showdown here in Rabat. We'll be back after a small break.
We are now in Akajiro National Park. It's a home of the Big Five.
I fell in love in Kigali. People like to enjoy life.
This was my dream since I was a kid, working with the gorillas every day.
There is something really magical about Nungwe National Forest. This is our little piece of heaven.
Rwanda is a place that everybody should really visit.
Welcome to Rwanda.
It began with a dream of connecting the heart of Africa to the world. The first pioneers were brave, venturing into skies unknown, and today the same spirit lives on. Rwanda soars higher, carrying dreams and stretching our frontiers. It's not just a flight, it's an experience. The kind where every detail is designed to make you feel at home. Rwanda is more than an airline. We are a bridge between Africa and the world, between you and your dreams. Welcome to Kigali.
Open up this lead as they go into the second quarter.
It makes complete and utter sense. I mean, you know, exploit what you've actually got, and what they've got is speed, physicality, and good cohesion amongst their players.
And 16 points in the paint for Stade Malien, which might be a little surprising.
Doumbia tries to get the jumper through, doesn't fall. George King at the other end. Tries to get past his man, doesn't get his bounce pass between the two Stade Malien players. It's been picked up. There's the, that is just sensational. Just there at the right place, right time, and Wilfred getting his first score tonight.
Another bit of transition play, even a broken transition, it results in 2 more points, and it's a 10th fast break point for Stade Malien.
Boubacar Kanouté, the coach of Stade Malien, he said Wilfred will get more time on the floor today. Well, he's definitely, you know, made that statement clear, because he's already scoring points and he'll be motivated as George King cuts into the paint, swings it out wide, and no points scored once again. Togo, that's beautifully set up, and that's a fantastic score from that man Doumbia. Doumbia up to 4 points.
Textbook finish in transition on a fast break, superb finish.
There's a mid-range shot there from George King, doesn't get his range on this occasion. And Stade Malien, they got a 6-point lead. This is a great start in the second quarter for them.
And this will give them some motivation and really put the psychological advantage with Stade Malien.
There's a little bit of contact there and a little bit of frustration at the same time. I think Wilfred knows that he's just he got over Ahmed a little bit too much, and there was some contact, so foul committed.
Stade Malien have been great on the offensive glass. They've got 10 rebounds. You see them control the defensive board, get out on the break quickly. It's a 3-on-1 break, and Doumbia, he needs no second invitation.
Yeah, wonderful options, you know, with Tunkura to the right, and of course that man, just Doumbia on the left-hand side. Fantastic from Stade Malien, working their magic.
And you'll see a big smile there on Boubacar Kanouté's face, because that's exactly what he talked about after the first quarter in the timeout.
King. Deng. Ahmed gets it back out to King. Shot clock down to 7. Gets rid of his man. Goes out wide. There's a long-range 3 that just goes over the top. Can't find his range, Medwali. And it goes out of bounds. And Stade Malien again, just feeding off, you know, every single play that they get. Diarra and Koulibaly on the bench for the moment. and it's a big time for these guys to step up.
And it is great because Stade Malien continue to play at their pace and their tempo, and it feels like they really are controlling the pace and tempo of this one.
I don't know, they've just, I think the word overdrive has just basically gone into their vocabulary as they hit a big three-pointer from out wide. Look at that, that is sensational. Tunkara this time getting 3.
Well, showcasing that he has got a little bit of range in his offensive game.
Every player needs to step up, Q. And, you know, you've got 13 players, you've got to use every single one.
Largest lead of the game now for Stade Malien.
George King tries to go up. There is a foul that's coming from Hinda Tunkara, who just scored the points down the other end, of course, the 21-year-old power forward.
21 years old, 7-foot wingspan, and showcasing a bit of touch from the perimeter.
George King will step up to the free throw line. That was the action there.
Q, you talked about the physicality of this Stade Malien team, and you can see that is the rhythm here with the 5 players who are coming off the bench. They have a point to prove, but also to continue with the momentum that the starting 5 executed in that first quarter. We see that Boubacar Kanouté is the kind of coach who likes to use his bench deep in, and he's expecting the same kind of energy from his players, and so far, so good.
Shooting from King from the free throw line. It's an 8-point lead. Togo, Wilfred swings it out as they look to seek more points, pushing forward. Fofana's getting himself on the floor as well. Drive through the middle. Oh, look at that. Delivered perfectly. Tunkara with 5 points to his name now.
Goes from outside to inside, and that's a strong offhand finish from Tunkara.
Massive statement. And they're all coming to the floor. Togo's got great acceleration. Love what he's doing. He attracts a lot of attention. It's been swung out wide, and Fofana can't get his shot, but there's contact.
Well, what a difference an evening makes for Stade Malien. They look like a completely different team this afternoon here in Rabat. They are composed, they're making great decisions, and Coach Boubacar Kanouté must be very happy with what he's seen so far.
That's a fabulous drive, isn't it? You know, just to deal with some of the big guys in the paint like that, and to be able to find your range and still have that ability to score. Togo, Stade Malien, 10-point lead, still working their magic. It's an attempt to try and get one over the sharp. It just doesn't fall. George King, defensive rebound, out to Dang.
He got the kind of space he was looking for. Decore couldn't get the finish, and now quick foul by Wilfred on the other side.
Yeah, he's very physical, there's no doubt about it. He wants to get in the face, but you put him on the floor, he offers something else as well. You want him to get in the face of the big guys as they try and get there. He's got to be a little bit more disciplined with the contact.
And those scenarios are going to happen because of the way that these two teams play the game of basketball, especially inside the paint. Deng is an aggressive offensive player and aggressive defense, trying to match the physicality. Sometimes you're going to just get those calls because of that high level of intensity and physicality.
For this encounter so far, we can basically say that the foul count is very, you know, we haven't got one single player on 2 as we approach midway second quarter, which is a good sign that, you know, it's going to be important to just make sure that you don't throw yourself too much into it physically.
Well, this game has been played with a poise and a tempo that has been good to watch, actually, for both teams.
Fana goes for a shot, Tunkara goes for a shot down in the corner, and we can see that there's foul that's committed as we see Deng down on the ground. Well, that was the moment, and Togo.
He gets right in there. There's Togo trying to rip the ball away from Deng and in between Vignales, and he does a great job, actually, of securing the basketball.
It's a fantastic play, and he's, you know, he's showing great acceleration. You know, the way that he just zips away, he's got that Jean-Jacques Boissy acceleration, you know.
It's lightning quick. You can see the change of pace when he's on the floor.
Well, you can see that there's nothing too flashy here. It's just solid basketball. Stade Malien playing with so much heart. Really, this is a case of black and white when you consider how they played yesterday and the kind of rhythm and energy they have today.
It's excellent to see, and it's excellent to see how coaches work with their players as we go. We see Togo go charging through, and you can see that that was yet another foul. Ali Ahmed has picked up his second, I think.
And that was a solid foul from Ahmed. Togo might think twice about going back inside the paint after the level of contact on that foul.
Oh, come on, he's in top gear. You're not going to stop him. That's his game. I mean, come on. I love the way that he just, like, you know, he's fearless going into the heart of the action, and he'll side through the paint each and every time, no doubt about it.
Exciting young prospect is Togo, 21 years old. He's represented Malien at the junior level, under 18 Afrobasket, under 19 World Cup in 2021, and he had some good numbers: 7.3 points, 2.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and he'll be looking to kind of add those numbers in a role behind Diarra.
Yeah, and there's something that that's a great shooting there from the free throw line. Something we got to also underline. The fact is, this Stade Malien team are young. You know, he's just 21. We've got youngsters in this squad, lacking the 35-year-olds that we've got scattered around some of the other teams, which add experience, but they're not showing anything less than the other teams in this encounter here today, because they're playing with lots of wisdom and expertise.
And execution, and that's usually what comes with a little bit of experience. Average age of Stade Malien, 24. Average age on Ittihad is above 28 and a half.
Good numbers, Q, come on. Here it is, right through the middle. There's a great score. And again, every single time that they get that opportunity, they find themselves scoring big points. Decore's the man on that occasion.
22 points in the paint, 24 after that make to just the 10 of Ittihad.
George King for three! Oh, the bucket is beautiful.
He had an impressive debut, 19 points in his debut, King, and that's his first field goal in this one.
Came out, he was practicing lots of different shots from different positions, as we see another long-range effort there, trying to drop for Tunkara. Getting his range. Vinales back on the floor. George King tries to deal with the defense. Flings it out to Deng. Deng gets rid of his man. Down into the corner they go. Oh, another three-pointer. Sensational. Shahata hitting his range.
That was superb execution, and the defense caught standing, and the shot making was excellent.
Togo. Wilfred. Tunkara. Crying out for the ball is Doucouré. It's Tunkara who goes up. His shot, not the right one. It's a 6-point lead. They've reeled them in. Vinales, George King. George King. Back out. Made safe. Calming things down. That big lead that they've had has been chopped down to just 6 points.
You want to see the ball move a little bit more on the offensive end for Stade Malien.
Corey leaning into George King, waits, bides his time, 4 seconds, needs to get a shot in. It's a mid-range two. It's been picked up once again, but it's gone to 0. And an opportunity wasted there, Asha.
It is an opportunity wasted for Stade Malien. They could have used that to a little bit go into this break with a breather, but it is what it is.
Stade Malien 34, Ittihad 28. Timeout called.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est le moment de la dance cam. وروني qui va être chaud. دابا يلا. بسم الله. اها. ايوا مصر. اشطح اشطح اشطح. يلا يلا يلا. محطوط. اوكي. اوكي اوكي اوكي. Ouais, c'est ça. Voilà, mademoiselle. Magnifique.
Back to Rabat, back to Morocco. Stade Malien 34, Ittihad at 28, 3:52 left in the second quarter. Usher, we're just looking at the numbers of Landing Sane there, and points. Last game, this game, 2, 9, 11, 67. Q, quickly.
And Usher talked about night and day. That's the comparison when you have a look at what he's been able to do on the floor in this contest.
Well, Landing Sane, of course, feeling more comfortable here today. There's good communication between him and his players, but on the court, Doucouré has been the standout player for Stade Malien. You can see he's doing so much on both sides of the court, on defense and on offense, and really the man to try and stop Al-Kaf.
George King switches sides. Oh, he delivers from the other side now. Extraordinary.
Leaning into good movement. They find George King open on the baseline, and he makes the shot. Statistically, where Stade Malien have been great has been on the rebounding side, 17 to 11, and also points in the paint, 24 to just 10 of Ittihad.
Wilfred missing out on a three-pointer there as Khalaf, Deng, Vinales gets the ball out to Shahata. Vinales gets rid of his man. Oh my word, they're dropping it like it's going out of fashion.
The backcourt of the Ittihad team are so experienced, so Vinales and King, they can turn it on in a heartbeat.
And he's back on the floor and already scoring. Cartier Diarra
goes to 10 points, first player into double digits, Cartier Diarra.
Shahata, Deng. Shows tries to go, but he doesn't go. Vinales does though, and there's the other put in. Oh, there's a second rebound opportunity, and it does fall. Khalaf, perseverance pays.
This time wins the matchup, Khalaf, and he gets 2 more points for that little win in the war.
Well, we know that basketball is a game of runs, and right now Al-Ittihad back with that rhythm.
Cartier Diarra delivering again. That is just brilliant. He finds his space, and he's just such a great shooter in every position.
Well, his aggression has set the tone from the start, and it's continued every time he's on the floor.
3-point lead and a missed opportunity. Oh, it's good battling there. Doucouré, look at that. It's been taken. They pick up the foul as well. Koulibaly. George King fouls.
Makes the extra pass. Does Doucouré. Just holds it for a second as it comes into the path there of Koulibaly, and he finishes happily.
I mean, how strong was that? Because he had to literally use those grapple hook-like hands and drag it away. And the pass was just neat and into the path, and a fine score, 40 points to 35, 1:45 left in the second quarter. And a timeout that's been called by Omar Soliman of Al-Ittihad, of course, as they trail by 5.
45% from the three-point line for Al-Ittihad. 5 makes from the exterior is kind of how they've managed to just keep themselves in this game. George King, 7 points off the bench. Deng with his 7, and Majok Deng, 5 points. So, you know, just getting some bench points from all of the depth that they do have. But Cartier Diarra led the way from the start. First couple of buckets, and is the first player into double digits with 12 points, and Landing Sane chipping in 9 and 2 rebounds.
But we got to call him one of the smoothest players, you know, one of the coolest players in the BAL since last season. He just walks around. He's got such great demeanor, very relaxed. But my, oh my, when he gets busy, he is a demolition man.
He is just so tough to guard, and that's why he's so treasured. We got real insight and a look at his time with the Cape Town Tigers, but also in the road to the BAL-Africa League. He played a big role in helping get Stade Malien into the competition, and it's only right that he leads them here in the BAL-Africa League Season 5.
Usher.
Well, talking about leadership, Cartier Diarra definitely has a target on his back. Coach Omar Soliman wants all the guards to put their focus on him. They know that he is the primary ball carrier here for Stade Malien. He's hatting him, and he's the man that has 12 points right now. So stopping him and making sure that they put the ball in the hands of somebody else is the priority for Al-Ittihad in this remaining 1 minute 46 seconds going forward in the second quarter.
And he's already eclipsed what he did yesterday, which basically tells you that the man is on fuego.
the right mindset, and he's been able to execute out on the floor.
And he's got a job to do because he has to drive that through until the end of the fourth quarter, and that is, you know, that's a mission that he's got on his hands. 6-point lead, 1 extra point there for on the free throw line as King picks it up. Tries to find some space. He's got Khalaf, shot clock down to 4. Vinales, it's got to go. It's got to go. He goes high, but he doesn't manage to drop in the points. Diarra picks it up. Picked up by Koulibaly. Just slowing it down marginally. Just over a minute to go in the second quarter. Oh, he gets rid of King, but he doesn't get his accuracy sorted on that occasion. Vinales. Khalaf, you won't. Khalaf, so you're not going to stop him from there. He'll just push until he drops.
Too big, too strong, almost too close to the rim, and he might have missed the first, but he's such a big frame that he's able to just put it right back in on the follow.
8 points from second chance points to 6 for Ittihad, but that was a big one for Khalaf. As we see more contacts.
He's caught on the back foot there, Abu Shosha. Diarra, turn of pace, and gets the defense in the air and is able to draw the foul.
And it is foul trouble, of course, for Ittihad, so Diarra will go to the free throw line.
And, you know, the way that he's shooting, he's the ideal player to actually get there, which is, you know, perfect scenario. Abu Shusha picking up his first foul, and this is a chance just to extend their advantage there, 42 points to 37. And if they can just, you know, keep themselves ahead going into the locker room, they're going to be in an ideal scenario. 2 out of 2 from the free throw line for Diarra.
They've done all the hard yards, have Stade Malien. It would be a great first half if they do go into the locker room with the lead.
And impressive there, 100% shooting from the free throw line for Stade Malien, 5 for 5.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Not as good as your numbers, Asha, but still, we'll talk about them later. Koulibaly goes through, it's swatted away, big time, look at that. And the defense coming to the fore with Vinales going baseline. He flings it out into the corner, it's a baseline attempt at 3. And Cartier Diarra tries to get past King, does really well. It's been laid into the path, and there's the score. It will not count, unfortunately. Just a little fraction of a second too slow to get the extras. But look at that for a scenario. Fabulous battling taking place here. Cartier Diarra's got a little bit of responsibility on his shoulders to deliver now. But he's playing like a, you know, like a real trooper already. Big scores, big points. Let's see how they get on.
It's game on. It is 20 minutes left in the second, in the story between Stade Malien and Ittihad, and it's going to be fascinating.
I can't write this script. Who can you write this script, Asha? I can't write it.
It is what basketball gives us here.
Excitement, thrill, spills. It's the BAL as we see the first attempt to pick up points, and it hasn't happened for Ittihad. Picked up by Cartier Diarra. Stade Malien lead by 6. Sané, Koulibaly. 3 points for Koulibaly. Unable to make it 5. Picks up by Abu Shusha. Goes ducking and diving. Goes out wide. The Stade Malien defense trying to reorganize Q.
I think we might see a ramp up on the defensive intensity side here from Ittihad.
Chuck Deng tries to go in, coming in from the cold. Vinales, King, back to Vinales. Shot clock down to 4. It goes over the top, and Diarra picks it up.
He just shortened on that attempt, but the board is controlled by Stade Malien.
An attempt for a 3-pointer there for Mohamed Doumbia. The big Senegalese giant. And a chance for Koulibaly! Oh, delightful! And he gets those extra 2 points, up to 5 he goes.
It's just so super skilled. It's the defensive side where he picks up the steal from King and then, wow, just reads the defense coming downhill. Superb finish from Koulibaly.
Well, Koulibaly was a little bit sick yesterday, but he put up 20 points. So you can imagine today when he gets that rhythm going.
Yeah, if he's not sick on the day, how was he double it up? Come on.
Well, it could be a 40-point game. Who knows?
That would be incredible. It's, you know, it is totally feasible as well. 8-point lead. And of course, Mali, just known for their musical instruments, their drummers and everything. They'll be buzzing with all of these drums and a little bit of rhythm getting behind them too.
I know how much you love the drums, Robbie Knock.
Bring it on.
Well, we know a man who loves drums. Robbie, do you know the man?
Diarra gets the ball out. There's a chance for 3 for Sané. Unable to sink the shot. And a chance that's gone missing.
Still well composed on the offensive end. They're finding the kind of looks that give them comfort. It is really the job of Ittihad to try and disrupt Malien's rhythm here on the offensive end.
Koulibaly had the very difficult job of trying to shadow King and stop it from going out. That was start magnificent attacking play from King.
At no point did you think that King was out of control. He got to the spot he wanted and he finished under just a little bit of defensive pressure.
Definitely a force of nature. Diarra. Sané goes driving. He's a little bit step back. There's the attempt to try and get it tipped in, but it doesn't happen. Dade's back on the floor as well, of course. Viñales, 6-point lead. Ittihad trying to bring it down, but it's been picked up and carried through by Doumbia. Doumbia, that is, oh, so elegant.
You have to credit the defense of Deng on that play. Doumbia lined up that shot, but it was this outstretched arm that forced the miss.
King unable to hit the long shots at the moment. Doumbia. Dade to Diarra. Koulibaly. Doumbia. These are the 2 key players who stood out from the crowd yesterday. Doumbia just turns and step back, attempt to mid-range 2. Again, the range is not going right for anybody at the moment.
And that is 6 defensive rebounds there for Ittihad, but unfortunately King unable to execute on offense.
And another missed opportunity, this time Doumbia.
They're just both teams guilty now of rushing on the offensive end. And we're seeing defense come to the floor.
Well, I guess, Robbie, now is the time for you to ask me to do something about the hoop.
Oh, Diarra hitting a big shot there. Come on.
Well, is he listening in on the commentary or not?
Come on.
Come on, Diarra.
He's had answers all afternoon, and whenever they need a big score, Diarra has the answer.
It's a big score from Abou Choucho, draws attention at the same time as he drops in the 2, but look at that man, Diarra, up to 16. He finally brings an end to what has been a shooting drought for the last couple of minutes.
Well, the drought is over, and both teams get scores from the field, and Abou Choucho just as skilled on the other side through the contact, and a chance to just bring it back within 2 possessions. It is a 2-possession game and make it a 5-point game.
And great to see Abou Choucho, Egyptian international, playing here at the BAL-Africa League. He's one of the players of his generation that were yet to play in the BAL. Of course, now that it is Ittihad Alexandria's first time to play here, you can see he's starting to get comfortable, and that chemistry that Q was talking about earlier in the game is starting to show.
One of the players that has come up through the Egyptian basketball ranks and played Afrobasket under 16, under 17, under 19, and a born and bred product of Alexandria sports.
Very highly respected club as well. There we go, brilliant drive through, and finally we get some points at the other end as well. Haman Dade getting himself points in his first of this encounter as they lead by 7. Viñales. Abou Choucho, Viñales, King, shot clock down to 6, tries to find his way through. And there is contact from Stade, I think.
Ittihad are trying to rush the offense here of Stade Malien, but they have stayed just so composed. You look at the pass inside, and Koulibaly is playmaking at the highest level right now. I love his decision-making.
King, Vinales. Trying to chop down that 7-point lead, but Stade Malien are being, well, resistant. Vinales tries to sky it over the top, doesn't happen. And he can't get his pass out, Khalaf, and is picked up by Diarra. Down into the paint, they go up. Patience is a virtue. That is a brilliant score. Sané for the 2+1.
Doumbia finds landing Sané, and the two players who were picked up from the BAL Combine combining for 2 important points.
Come on, Q. He's gone for it. We knew it was going to happen sooner or later. He went straight down the middle, straight through the paint. He was so aggressive towards the rim. I love it. Combined. We've got a little break. It's 51-42, and we'll be back with Q and some more laughter.
C'est maintenant le moment, mesdames et messieurs, d'effectuer votre meilleur shoot. Shoot, Cam. Faites le meilleur shoot. À vous de jouer. C'est parti sur l'écran géant.
We are now in Ittihad National Park. It's a home of the Big Five.
I fell in love in Kigali. People like to enjoy life.
This was my dream since I was a kid, walking with the gorillas every day.
There is something really magical about Nungwe National Forest. This is our little piece of heaven.
Rwanda is a place that everybody should really visit.
Welcome to Rwanda.
Voilà, nice. BAL. Shoot the shot, Cam.
Yeah, well, welcome back to Rabat here. And 51-42, it's a 9-point lead. Sané, only the second player behind Diarra to get into double figures today, just to give you an idea of how crazy this game is. We've seen a fair few shots that have been missed, but we've also seen a real interesting battle between these two teams defensively, and this is where we are now.
Khalaf has got 8 points, and he's got 10 rebounds, and you see George King held to 30% from the field so far.
Sané's straight to the free throw line. Usher's on the side of the court. You're on top of the game, Usher. You brought your A game here today.
Well, as Q is impressed with Al-Kaf's offensive game, Coach Omar Soliman is not impressed with their defense. The key word that has come out of that timeout is khalas, which in Arabic means you need to stop them at all means, and make sure that you tighten up the defense. But he wants them to pass that ball on offense.
It's the opposite to Yalla.
Yalla, let's go.
Here we go, it's a steal and a chance for Doumbia, layup for 2. Stade Malien up by 12 points now, biggest lead so far. Mahmoud still on the sideline.
That again, turning defense into offense, and 2 easy points for Doumbia.
And a long-range shot that doesn't fall Abu Shusha. This would very much turn things around in the Kalahari Conference if Stade Malien managed to get themselves another more points. That's excellent rebound work, but it doesn't fall for Haman Dade.
Really should have converted that, and it might be something that could play later on in this contest.
Vinales, rebound made safe by Doumbia. And it looks like, is that a traveling call, I think? Or let's wait and see. There is a foul that's been committed.
The blocking call on the ground, but this is the pass from Koulibaly, and his passing really has been on display. And you talk about display, that athleticism from Doumbia. Amazing.
Sumptuous.
Well, Doumbia, a journeyman himself. Of course, you talked about his excellence in the Senegalese league. He's played in Burundi and is currently playing in Rwanda for United Generation Basketball. He's doing well. He's been a star player and one of the poster boys of the league in the East African country.
We'll get to see APR and the BAL-Africa League, of course, when we head down to the third conference, of course, which will take place in Kigali. Looking forward to that. It just enables Usher to be able to delve into a very large wardrobe and show off some of her fine threads.
I know a lot of people will be waiting for the Nile conference and what Usher has to showcase.
Yeah, it's part of the BAL now. It's part of the patchwork of the BAL, Usher, you know that.
Talk about a pot calling a kettle black. Well done, gentlemen.
54-42, 3:26. You can see that Doumbia is going for another chance to put points on the score. It's a 12-point lead, and it's been defended there. Khalaf does the job because he's there.
Well, that is a technical foul to Ahmed, the captain of Ittihad, for the reaction there, trying to complain and shout at the bench. That is a rude welcome to the BAL.
There's a lot of frustration starting to seep through the play of Ittihad, and they've been held to 5 points here in the third quarter by Stade Malien. And that will be frustrating, the ability to make these free throws, and Doumbia misses a crucial free throw.
You know, you got to keep calm. The great teams keep calm when they're in tricky situations, and you know, that reaction there is not going to go down well with their coach Soliman, who knows that if they want to win this, then they've got to persevere, be patient, because there's so much time left to play. Third quarter, 3 left to play. Oh, look at that. That is just a magnificent three-pointer there. Look at that from Deng.
You often hear players and fans talk about game of moments, and sometimes just one little moment can spark a run, and that could be the moment for Deng, because it's a 4-point play opportunity.
And look at, you can just see that there's movement coming through. He's just crashing in, isn't he, Wilfred? And the Ivorian with contact. Could be a game changer.
And it really gets into the space of Deng. And it's a soft foul, but it is a foul nonetheless, and it gives Deng the opportunity to just rein in as the scoreboard pressure starts to continue to build on Ittihad.
And it brings it down below 10 as well, doesn't it, Asha?
Yes, it does, and in comes the BAL champion, the only player to have won the BAL in this Kalahari Conference. Anas Mahmoud enters for the first time in this game for Ittihad.
Interesting indeed. Doumbia. Little round the back pass, neatly done to Koulibaly, picked up by Wilfred. Sané goes out to Cartier Diarra. Diarra with a big three-pointer. It doesn't fall. It's been picked up by Sané. Tries to get it out. There's a lovely little touch there defensively to keep it out. And there comes the foul from Koulibaly on Deng.
They're going to make him earn it from the free throw line. No free buckets in transition. And it was great work on the defensive end by Mohamed, getting the touch and just getting the ball away from Sané.
Yeah, and that little touch, because Sané got the rebound. He did all of the hard work to get hold of the ball, and then afterwards you lose it. Those are the key moments that can turn things around big time.
Yes, and Stade Malien, of course, in foul trouble at this point with 2 minutes, 37 seconds to play, as there's a change on the court there with Doucouré coming back to the court to bring that presence in the paint, both on defense and offense for the Malian champions.
Sané to the bench.
And meanwhile, Deng, the first player for this Ittihad team to go into double digits.
This is his first shot on the free throw line, 4 out of 5. Koulibaly picks it up. It's been an opportunity here. Doucouré coming on, of course. Cartier Diarra, the drummer's getting behind the Stade Malien. Koulibaly flings it out. Little touch there from Mahmoud. They will get possession back.
Well, that is exactly what Anas Mahmoud brings to this Ittihad side. BAL Defensive Player of the Year. That experience already showing here on the court.
Well, that's because he's got the wingspan of a pterodactyl, Asher. Not surprising.
Yeah, like Q's.
Q.
Yep. He has the same wingspan. Have you not seen it?
He hasn't even reacted. I don't believe this.
Does he not know his wingspan?
I don't know. He doesn't know much about himself anymore.
Well, we'll measure it at the end of the game.
I'll let you do that, Asha. It's okay. Well, there's Cartier Diarra just getting in the way of that charge from Ibrahim Abdelrahman, Egyptian international. And Diarra picking up his second foul.
And with that score, they tie up the quarter. It's 11 points apiece now in terms of point production. It could be a significant moment with just 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this third quarter.
And a timeout called logically by Boubacar Kanouté of Stade Malien as they lead by 5 points, but that big lead has come down to a point where it's now in danger of being lost, isn't it, by Ittihad, who are feeding off their inability to score those key points when they're on offense.
You go back to the 4-point play from Deng and you start to track back what happens then. Just one missed score, and all of a sudden you're back within 2 possessions, and that's where we are. It's a 2-possession game again, just 5 points that separate the 2 teams. Different game, lots of time for both of these teams.
But there's so many players who can step up, of course, and that's what we'll keep an eye on as we take a look. We got one player, it's Deng, who gets into double figures, of course. King, Khalaf also there, but on the other side, of course, Diarra.
Got to continue to lead. Cartier Diarra going to be so crucial going into the final 12 minutes of this intense affair here in the Moroccan capital.
Asha, we're going to come to you.
Well, of course, you can see that Coach Boubacar Kanouté is concerned. It is a 5-point game, and so much basketball still to be played, but he wants the Stade Malien players to play with a little bit more consistency, pass that ball until they get a good option on the shooting. But they have to ask Al-Ittihad the questions. You can see that there's 3 players of Al-Ittihad with great wingspans there, Deng, Majok Deng, and Anas Mahmoud, and that is exactly what we're talking about.
That's a double block there coming in from Anas Mahmoud, the reason why he's come onto the floor and showing us what he's capable of doing. Deng for a 3-pointer. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Stade Malien who get the ball.
Presence in the paint, Mahmoud, and that's the reason that is so valuable to the Al-Ittihad squad. Doucouré tries once, tries again, and gets sent back twice.
Well, we've talked about the couple of options that Coach Omar Soliman has on that bench, and you can see he can play small, he can play big, but he can also play a very tight defense and offense as well.
Loss of possession by Diarra. Viñales picks it up. The big men move into position. It goes out wide. Mohamed cuts in from the baseline, flings it out to Mahmoud. It goes out to Deng. Deng for 3. Oh! 3 for Deng!
Offensive spark plug. That's what Deng is right now. Second big make from the outside, and it is a 2-point game. The pass from Mahmoud, the composure to make the shot. Majok Deng.
Up to 13. Out wide, hitting the big 3, and a 2-point lead. And a chance for them to try and hit back. Just a little bit too strong off the backboard by Tunkara. This is to draw level or go ahead. It's a missed opportunity for Mohamed. Cartier Diarra. Last minute, last 42 seconds of the third quarter before we enter the 4th pivotal. Oh, he's just run out of space. The battle continues. And it will be a ball that will... It's going to be Ittihad who get possession, I think. Unless there's a coach's challenge. Asha?
Yes, there's definitely one, and Jan Davidson, who's the crew chief of this game, will be looking at the video review together with Arnold from South Africa.
Coach's review important because this is game time. This is where every single, and the cliche is used so often, but possession matters. So if they are able to get the ball back, it'll be important for them to try and get a score. But there's so many touches in there. Ping pong with the basketball.
I mean, that is like sort of, you know, that's like a pine forest, isn't it? It's just like enormous. It's so difficult to get out of the thicket, try and get yourself, you know, the shot over the top of those extremely large branches.
And it looked like, just from that view, and this is first view from our side, that King got the last touch of that, but they'll try and get some different angles to see and ascertain which way the possession arrow should go. I mean, rather, Viñales got the last touch. The players certainly are interested. This is a very big call here for crew chief and referees.
Jan Davison.
Yes, it is Stade Malien ball possession. The decision has been overturned.
Thank you, Asha. Wow. But, you know, it's great to get that possession. Now you've got to turn it into something that goes up onto the scoreboard.
With just 4.8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Who's going to go for the big play?
It is a game of margins, so you can imagine how much of a decision that could change in terms of the flow of this game.
Little step back, and the shots underside of the rim from Cartier Diarra. They survive Ittihad. 25.8 seconds remaining.
Certainly not the kind of look that Stade Malien would have wanted out of that sidelines, out of bounds execution. So Ittihad, they have the opportunity to tie or go ahead.
It's been a fascinating battle, it really has. Quite low scoring as we head into the final quarter. Oh, he's just left it for Viñales. It's been flung out wide. Long-range shot doesn't fall. Last few seconds. 5 seconds to get a shot in. Got to go for it. Oh, that was the attempt, but it's not going to happen. And the end of the third quarter. We got a 2-point lead for Stade Malien. They still stay ahead marginally. The Malians lead Ittihad by 2. We're going to take a break. Fourth quarter coming up. How exciting is that going to be?
Yes, tense is the name of the game, but you have to talk about the impact of Anas Mahmoud. 3 quick blocks there for Ittihad to deny Stade Malien, and that has taken a little bit of the rhythm from the Stade Malien offense, and that could be a defining factor. But here we are for the last quarter.
Sané's trying to get a big one over the shop. Koulibaly gets it back out. Togo's come onto the court. Viñales goes up, and he's got an option here. Gang trying to get on the end of that, but Koulibaly gets there first.
Yes, Stade Malien yet to score since the introduction of Anas Mahmoud on the floor. They've been at this 54 scoreline for the last 3 minutes.
Viñales again, shadowed by Togo. Mahmoud looking for options, tries to find his way, loses possession, picked up by Koulibaly, powers his way through, and there's a traveling call there, just that extra step. Yeah, I think he knew it because he was looking for the pass, but there was no one there to pass to at that time.
And that, again, illustrates the presence of Mahmoud. We saw that a little bit earlier, Koulibaly in transition, but aware that Mahmoud is trailing made him just think for half a second, and that results in the travel.
He's like that strict school teacher that you always like sort of have to pay attention to, isn't he? He's such a colossal and brilliant basketball player, but a big human being who'll block anything. Deng goes up for a big 3, bounces back out, Togo picks it up. He's been just nudged over. It's a little bit of weight on Togo from Mohamed that sees him go to ground. Foul committed.
Switching up the point guard position, bringing Togo in to inject some pace into the offense and see if they can't get down court before the defense sets up and get a couple more transition and fast break points.
Koulibaly with 5 points. Top player for Stade Malien in their opening game. Togo goes up for 3! Big 3 from Togo. Comes to the fore.
Fantastic shot making. That's a pressure shot. And just gives Stade Malien a little bit of breathing room.
And the response there and the attempt to try and get the rebound. That's great defensive play from Doumbia. They move ahead by 5. Wilfred of the Côte d'Ivoire comes back off. Picks up made safe by Vignales. But it has it. Picks up by Koulibaly. He's going to get around his man. Does it so well. Majestic stuff there from that man, Koulibaly.
Bravery and skill goes right at the body of Mahmoud and finishes with his left.
Mohamed does really well. Excellent protection as he rises up and scores 2 with a layup. It's all opening up now.
Completely opening up. Game is starting to flow freely.
Asha.
This is the intensity that we were talking about and expected in this fourth quarter, at least from what we saw from the first 3 quarters. But now, this is the business end of the game.
Asha, I think they've got over the mental block of Mahmoud. Anas Mahmoud. Vignales does well, gets through, scores 2. Brilliant. Good steal, good run, good score.
Starting to get into the passing lanes. Deflections are turning into turnovers that are turning into fast break points.
Togo. No way. Oh, come on. Outrageous score there from Togo.
Up to 7 now for Togo, finding some opportunities to add to his name to the score sheet.
Well, Togo, the go-to man, if you turn his name the other way around.
Oh, come on, Asha, you can't do that to us. Mahmoud dunks it down, drains it big time.
That pass from Vignales to find big Mahmoud inside the paint and keep this one interesting.
Togo. Koulibaly. Sané out to the corner. Doumbia doesn't go. Vignales. Ittihad on the charge. They lead by 3 points. It goes out wide. Oh, big bucket. Magic Deng.
That was almost more about the pass than it was about the shot making, but superb from Deng. Vignales, great find in the corner.
And we are level at 61 here with 6 minutes left to play. Doumbia goes around Mohamed. Sané for 3, doesn't fall, and look, here he is. Deng with the dunk. Damage done by Deng.
Dynamite dunk. Deng just gets 2 more points, and Ittihad have finally got the lead.
Wow, bring it on. 61-63.
$18 points. Big time shot making under a lot of pressure, and he's done it inside and outside. And 2 important points as Ittihad take their first lead in this one since the first quarter.
Asha, a word from the bench.
Yeah, a word from Boubacar Kanouté. He wants Stade Malien to play with a little bit more dynamic instincts, and of course they know that Anas Mahmoud is the man that has been stopping them, but he's not occupying the entire court.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hindrance for Stade Malien, making life very complicated in the paint defensively. Vignales is there, and he's managed to drain a couple of points as well as he goes through the middle, flings it back out. Mohamed, here he is, Magic Deng once again. Oh, no. What can't he do?
Big time players make big time plays, and Deng has been huge for Ittihad down the stretch.
5-point lead. Koulibaly have to react. Stade Malien. He goes up for a big 3. It's just rebounded safely there by Mahmoud. And Vignales drives aggressively through the middle, losing possession in the process. Wilfred. Togo. have to hit back, have to have an answer. So it might be good for the differential, but they want to get the W. Stade Malien have led for such a long time. Sane, it's short, safely into the hands of Mohamed.
Led for all of just 3 minutes 55 seconds in this one, Ittihad, and are now starting to build on that lead time.
Mahmoud, Deng, shot clock down to 5, needs to make a decision. Foul committed by Togo. Just at a time where there was a few seconds remaining and he was being hassled at that moment. It's only one team foul each. 4:11 left to play. Vignales. Trying to go around Koulibaly. Weaves off the glass, comes back out, and another foul committed.
Quiet on the offensive end is Vignales, but it's his playmaking, just setting up the offense, allowing Ittihad to get into their half-court offense that has been impressive. His poise under pressure.
He's just orchestrating well, isn't he? Just looking very calm and collected with the ball in hand. Easily distributes, looks very calm, but he's also got that wonderful, swift streak of acceleration which enables him to really drive into the heart of the defense before he either goes for the score or gets them, or just gets it back out, kicks back out.
There's no doubt about his scoring ability, Vignales, but he's got to pick his moments and decide between playing the role as a scorer or as a playmaker for the rest of the team.
They've got a 7-point lead. The tables have turned. Togo. Sane. Doumbia. Doumbia drives through. He sees Anas. You're not going to get past him. Sane. High. Made safe by Doumbia. Deals with Mahmoud. Goes himself. It goes off the glass. He's got another chance. That's nicely done. That's a great rebound there from Wilfred.
Want to see more of that aggression, the ability to attack the paint. And they've settled for a couple more outside shots since the introduction of Mahmoud, but that time they get the second chance opportunity.
Mohamed deals with Togo. Right. It's a great drive, that is. Very aggressive. Another swift player who can get into those pockets of space and cause all sorts of problems, driving into players.
Experienced. That is one thing that they have in abundance on their bench. Mohamed, an Egyptian international, the 28-year-old, has been a part of the Egyptian national team since 2017.
Diarra back on the floor. Togo goes off. Ball back in the hands of the men in green, the masters of the city. Rolls off the top. Wilfred makes it safe. Doumbia. Wilfred. Diarra. Doumbia needs to go for a shot, goes for three! Big shot, big moment for him as well, as Doumbia moves up into 9 points.
Togo goes off, Diarra comes in, an extra pass to a wide open shooter, and Doumbia knocks down an important one.
2-point game, and they make it safe. Cartier Diarra goes racing. He's got an option here, goes around, gives it off. Oh, he just can't get the shot off the glass there, Doumbia. A little bit unfortunate because that would have drawn level. They put it up high. It's been made high, it's been dropped. Oh, what a... I thought he was going to go for the score there, Magic Deng. Stolen there by Mohamed, brilliant play. It's a little bit wild at the moment. Mahmoud. Deng, and that's going to be a foul on Deng.
Well, you get the sense that every single Ittihad player is looking for Majok Deng every time down.
But you know that everybody's so nervous at the moment, it's ridiculous.
You see here, Mahmoud gets the ball inside. Deng trying to fight Majok Deng. They call for the travel, and once the travel call, it's not going to quite go their way. There's a timeout called on the floor now.
which makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, the fact is that you want to, when you see it's a 2-point game, you know that, you know, there are so many possibilities, but you've got to get it right. Every play counts now. But that big 3-pointer from Doumbia, that basically was just as important as the Deng 4-pointer earlier on.
It was so important because it is now a 2-point game, and you put pressure on every single possession, but the pressure doesn't just come from the court, it comes from the scoreboard, and it comes from the clock as well.
Deng up to 21 points. And there you can see it.
It's the 75% from the field that's really impressive. It speaks to his shot selection, and also 71% from the outside by Majok Deng. Having a day, and Ittihad really do need him to produce here down the stretch as well.
Poetry in motion from that man Deng. Look at that, that is just sublime. He knows it. In it goes, the celebrations follow. We've got 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to play. Cartier Diarra, it is Stade Malien in possession. Use your possession wisely. Koulibaly, 7 points today. There's Diarra for a mid-range two. It rolls over the wrong side. Made safe at the back by Majok Deng.
Call for a change of ball, some moisture on the basketball, so they'll take time quickly to swap out the balls on the floor.
Asha, can you feel that this is going to go to the wire? Are we going to overtime?
Yes, we've definitely seen a lot of this throughout the past 4 seasons of the BAL. These two teams have a point to prove. Stade Malien, of course, coming back for the first time since 2023. Ittihad wanting to be like the other Egyptian sides that have played here in the BAL. But all of that starts here right now in this last 1 minute and a half.
George King coming on for Mohamed, and what a fine player he is. Shot clock down to 4. You've got to be careful. You haven't got the shot in. He's got to fling it out. That's not going to happen. They've defended it valiantly.
Superb defensive possession. Credit Stade Malien. Now they've got to go back on the other side and try and get the score. The block coming in there from Wilfred.
Yeah, the big Ivorian coming in. It's Cartier Diarra. Sané back out to Diarra. Oh, he tries to get himself up there. He's trying to get past Mahmoud. That might be not the best solution. Deng. Nialis, 57 seconds to play. Vinales. Deng goes high. Deng goes high, but it doesn't fall. It's picked up, and a chance for Doumbia. Oh, he's just run into trouble there, and picked up by Deng. Majok Deng. Vinales for a big long-range shot. Comes back out, 33 seconds. 9 seconds on the shot clock. George King, baseline, back out. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and a foul committed by Wilfred on Mahmoud. Just to stop the clock on 21.8, but a chance to fire 2.
Well, great job of taking it deep into the shot clock. There's 2.2 seconds left. They get that ball into the hands of Mahmoud, who's able to draw the foul. Close range. All he has to do now is compose himself. You see, he gets up and over the defense. Wilfred drawn into the foul. Now he's got to make some pressure free throws.
Misses the first. At least one of them is going to be very important.
38% free throw shooter through season 2 with Zamalek. Struggled from the line a little bit.
Oh, he misses the second as well. 20 seconds left to play. Oh my word, Vinales goes up. That is absolutely incredible play. Vinales poaches, steals in Rabat. Scores the points out of nowhere, ghosted in, took it out of the air, and then look what he does.
That is how defense wins you championships. Heads-up play, just awareness from Vinyales. Dispossesses Koulibaly, gets a chance out in the open floor. Nothing the defense could do. It's clear, open sky, and he finishes with the right hand.
He was so aware that he had George King that he looked across to make sure that the defender knew that he had an option. And then he took it himself because the coast was clear. Such a smart player. That's a big score.
It's huge. You see the joy from Abu Shosha. That is a superb play, and under pressure, Vinyales comes up big for Ittihad.
Timeout called by Boubacar Kanouté logically. 4 points, 15.2 seconds. God, I mean, you know, there's all of those things going in your head now on how you can actually get the right play from this and try and, you know, you get your 3-point and your foul, and that would be the ideal scenario, of course, but if you get a quick 2 and then you can steal the... I mean, you know, how do you deal with this, Q? You've been in these situations before.
Well, they want to go quickly for 3, or they want to get the opportunity for an and one play, so could they go inside. You look for a shooter on the exterior. From the Ittihad side, however, it might be in their interest to foul quickly and make Stade Malien go and shoot at the free throw line.
Usher, what are they going to do quickly?
Well,
what are they going to do?
I'll tell you that they'll be looking for a 3-point play there. Maybe if they can get that 3 and then try to press on the inbound for Ittihad. But first, let's see if Ittihad will not steal the ball.
Diarra, Sané. Diarra, is he going to get a 3? Hasn't managed to score a long-range shot for a long time. Foul committed, first of all, and it's Deng Deng who commits the foul. And that's only the second foul for Ittihad, so they'll just get the ball on the sideline. It's not as if they go into the free throw line.
They can do that, just continue to foul, take some time off the clock. What they don't want is Stade Malien getting a 3, and that's a crucial moment.
Listen, it's, you know, you can see that Deng Deng, and Majok Deng, they're kind of celebrating because that was the play that's seen them lose possession. And, you know, now they get the ball back. They got a 4-point lead. It's going to be very complicated now because they can orchestrate. Foul committed immediately, of course. They're on 5 fouls, straight to the free throw line, you know, and this is... it's going to be slightly torturous after they lost that last possession.
So small moments in the game that can turn the game. A chance here for Mohamed to just give Ittihad some comfort.
I mean, I've been so impressed by Stade Malien today. I think that anything could happen now in the Kalahari Conference, to be honest with you.
This is a statement game for Stade Malien, but I think the statement would have been a lot more well-received had they been able to just pick up the win.
Absolutely, but remember, they play twice each team, which means that we still got lots of basketball to be played. Oh, it's a big 3-pointer there for Diarra, but you know, it won't reel in that differential. Is 69 points for Stade Malien, 72 for Ittihad. They ran them big time, but they didn't manage to just get themselves ahead going to the final buzzer. It's 2 from 2 for Ittihad of Alexandria, Egypt, and second loss for Stade Malien. But what an incredible performance they put in today. So impressed by Les Blancs de Bamako. I wanted you to say that, Q, but you...
They really were impressive, and for the largest part of the game, they executed at an extreme high level, but that is sometimes the value of experience. It's the shot selection and playmaking under the duress when it matters most, and that is in the 4th and final quarter when the clock and scoreboard pressure is at its highest. An impressive win, though, for Ittihad, and Majok Deng's 21 points leading the way. He was really big when it mattered and kept coming up with some crucial scores from the outside and on the interior.
Kyle Vinyales, I mean, you know, he'll be deemed as a bit of a hero today because that steal when he ghosted in, snatched the ball and then scored the 2. Very impressive. Let's catch up with Usher in a few moments' time. for the interview, of course, with our star player, but Majok Deng, just brilliant all round. They've got that fighting ability and that capacity to hit back in a big way.